became the Bakra for his activities. So he insisted I come to the club 45 minutes before time. He inculcated great amount of discipline and punctuality and self-discipline in me. The role of the president of the club was the most challenging role for me and the one I really cherished the most. I had to deal with people who took up the role because they loved Toastmasters. They took the role where no salary was involved, no threat of pink slip was there, and they could walk away anytime, even if I say one word what they didn't like. So the challenge was to meeting people's expectations. I soon came to realize that they stayed back because not only did they love Toastmasters, because of the faith and trust I placed in them. This became a template for me for my future role as a leader. One great quality I learned was if you can take care of people, they'll take care of the organization, and the organization will take care of all of us. I think you and I grew up listening to Kishore Kumar and S.P. Balasubramanian. In our college days, a good feeling will go listen to Kishore Kumar songs. A sad feeling will listen to Mohammed Rafi songs. And we grew up on those songs and we enjoyed them. And today we relish and revived by them. What has changed is our outlook to life. What has changed is my outlook to people. What has changed is a way I can perceive things. I bet you have changed a lot, sir. I have changed a lot. And the situation circumstances around me have remained the same, but I have learned to deal with it better. And that happened because I joined this Toastmasters. We are all students in our life. Only thing, we have to open the door sometimes. We pass the door, most of the time the door, we don't open the door. And when the door opened, the Toastmasters is waiting for me. Toastmasters will wait for all of us. And to put a very simple thing, I have enjoyed considerable success in Toastmasters.
Welcome to the first episode of Toastmasters and Beyond. In this series of podcasts, I will interview Toastmasters and understand from them various aspects of being a Toastmaster. Today we have someone who is from a builder of homes, transitioned to a builder of people, a marathon runner, trainer with rich experience of over 10 years in coaching, mentoring, molding people and shaping their personality in about all essential traits for corporate life like goal setting, conflict management, presentation skills, and much more. A distinguished Toastmaster, past district governor of our district, which was District 82 then, past regional advisor of Region 13. I can read on and on about his introduction. Let me welcome onto the stage distinguished Toastmaster Kumaran Pethi. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. And it's a nice thing to do on a Sunday morning.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, can you share with the audience about your journey as a Toastmaster beyond what I spoke about?
I started in Toastmasters 24 years back. It was actually an accident when my brother persuaded me to come to a meeting because he wanted a quorum to start a club. I became the Bakra for his activities. So I went out of respect to see what was happening there. I so enamored by the way they conducted the meeting that I decided to join, and I have never left and I never will.
That's a great answer, sir. So, what are all the roles you have played in the club and beyond the clubs?
I started at Sergeant at Arms. I became the VPPR. I became the club president. Then I became the area director. Then I became the division director, district PR, district treasurer. And those days we had something called an assistant LGM. LGM is the equivalent to a CGD. Then I became an assistant PQD. In between, I lost one or two elections. Then I went on to become the division district director. And I start my role in a leadership after attending the post of the regional advisor.
That's a great journey. Which among these roles did you enjoy the most and why?
It's a very simple question and very easy to answer. The role of the president of the club was the most challenging role for me and the one I really cherished the most, simply because the immediate past president of the club was an officer from the Air Force. He was a very strict disciplinarian. He insisted that I complete my CC, that is competent communicator. I was on Project 8 before I became a president. So my tenure was delayed by 2 months. He insisted I come to the club 45 minutes before time. He inculcated a great amount of discipline and punctuality and self-discipline in me. And what happened was I became a better person. But what really molded me as a president was I found out that I had to deal with people who took up the role because they loved Toastmasters. They took the role where no salary was involved, no threat of pink slip was there, and they could walk away anytime, even if I say one word what they didn't like. So the challenge was to meeting people's expectations. I soon came to realize that they stayed back because not only did they love Toastmasters, because of the faith and trust I placed in them. This became a template for me for my future role as a leader. One great quality I learned was if you can take care of people, they'll take care of the organization, and the organization will take care of all of us.
That's a wonderful message. If you take care of people, they will take care of the organization, and the organization will take care of all of us. I think this is what something I should remember for life and implement it in my journey as a Toastmaster, and of course in the corporate life too. Sir, you are a DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster, and I think you have done it in the conventional path, the old path.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So, what do you think is changed now from the conventional path to the pathways? And a lot of people have a feeling that pathway is not as good as the old path or vice versa. So, what is your take on it? What do you want to convey to the audience?
The only thing constant in life is change. To evolve, we have to look back and move forward. If you ask me, I am from the old school of thought, and I am biased because I did my DTM the old path. Now I'll give you a little correlation. I think you and I grew up listening to Kishore Kumar and SP Balasubramanian. In our college days, a good feeling will go listen to Kishore Kumar songs. A sad feeling will listen to Mohammed Rafi songs. And we grew up on those songs and we enjoyed them. And today we relish and revived by them. Now, the old path was like Mohammed Rafi and the SPB for me. I loved the system. I loved the importance they gave to different aspects of communication. For example, we had a separate chapter for body language. We had a separate chapter for voice modulation. Now, if you look into the new path, Icebreaker involves voice modulation and body language without actually dwelling into it. But if you flip the coin, you see the pathways allows people to choose the path they want with they're comfortable, uncomfortable with, so that it can enhance the careers. I listen to Arjit Singh also. I listen to Shreya Ghoshal also even today. But give me a Lata Mangeshkar classic, I'll die for it.
So you were so nice putting up saying that the old path is still the best. The manuals are available online. I think for the audience, they can download and they can read to understand the fundamentals and they can still implement the new methods. So what else you have seen has changed in Toastmasters in the last 23, 24 years?
Actually, nothing has changed in Toastmasters. Toastmaster remains the same as it was from 1924 to today. What has changed is our outlook to life. What has changed is my outlook to people. What has changed is a way I can perceive things. Uh, I bet you have changed a lot, sir. I have changed a lot. And the situation circumstances around me have remained the same, but I have learned to deal with it better. And that happened because I joined this Toastmasters. My simple thought is all of us have a talent. All of us have a urge for something we want to achieve in life. All of us yearn for something, but most of it is hidden with us. We want a catalyst. That catalyst can be a Sadguru, the catalyst can be a book, the catalyst can be people around us, the catalyst can be an event or a situation, but these pass by. A constant catalyst to me was Toastmasters. I discovered some hidden talent that I had. I never knew I could speak well, and I learned to respect people around me, and people started respecting me. So, there's a saying: "The student is ready, the master appears." We are all students in our life. Only thing we have to open the door sometimes. We pass the door, most of the time the door, we don't open the door. And when the door opened, the Toastmaster is waiting for me. Toastmaster will wait for all of us. And to put a very simple thing, I have enjoyed considerable success in Toastmasters. And I'm very happy with it. For example, today's podcast, why would he call me if I was not who I am? That platform Toastmasters is giving me. So it is life defining.
Sounds good to me. Just to take a step backwards, to know, has Toastmasters influenced you in your personal life beyond your Toastmasters business, in your profession, at family, or any other place?
Toastmasters, one of the best thing Toastmasters has defined is character building. It is a building of people's character. We all join an organization for us fundamentals. Any organization. If you join a running club, you join the running club because you're a good runner. If you join the singing club, you join the singing club because you want to become a good singer. We all join Toastmasters because we liked its fundamentals. Some of us want to become a good speaker. Some of us wanted to lose nervousness. Some of us wanted to gain confidence. But you will stay at Toastmasters when you respect the fundamental of its organization and when you find friends and purpose. The purpose I found, the purpose all of us has found, is different to everybody. To me, character building is the greatest purpose Toastmasters gives. To mold my character and to mold the character of people around me at Toastmasters is life defining. That's why I love it.
So this brings into the next question. You have partially answered that. I keep hearing it from a lot of club leaders saying that I have club members who have completed two paths or they have achieved distinguished Toastmaster role now. What is in for them to continue in Toastmasters because they feel that we have achieved. We don't want to renew our membership. You have been there for 23 years, you have achieved DTM and much more. So, what is your one message that you want to give it to them who think that I have achieved everything and I'm good to go?
One minute, please. There is a saying, when a man becomes 40, he turns naughty. I was 35, and before I became naughty, I joined Toastmasters. On the correct side, this saying is, until 35, especially if you're a man, we are given great importance in life. At home, we are the male member, everybody respects us, and we bring the breakfast and lunch to the table. Our children respect us. Everything happens. When you touch 35, 40, our children have grown up. We are only an ATM machine. The wife has seen enough of us. She's tired. When you come home, initial days of marriage, the food would be given to you. The meals would be given to you. Now they say, please go have it. You look around, there is a void in your life. That void was filled by me through Toastmasters. I became naughty at Toastmasters. And why am I staying for so long? I went to Toastmasters. I understood there was something that I could become better at. People encouraged me. They said good things about me. I am constantly clapped for. People seek out to me. Even after 23 years, I still am respected for what I do. People say I'm a good speaker, even though sometimes or many times I'm not speaking well. They will nudge me to go forward, and people reach out to me. Now, where would you like to be, sir? In a place where you're told you're constantly good, or in a world you're told nothing at all, or told, please get going, we have had enough of you. Toastmaster says, we have not had enough of you, and I want to stay there.
That's right. It's an obvious thing where people like you, people applaud for whatever you do. We all would love to be there, and you summed it up. Talking about family, many a times as Toastmasters or families complain that you have all the time in the world for Toastmasters and no time for us. They want to go out for a movie on a Saturday evening and have a club meeting. They want to go out for some event on a Sunday morning, and we have some district event, area event, some training, something happening. How do you balance between the family and Toastmasters?
This is a very challenging part for all men and women who are Toastmasters, because by now you realize we are addicts. Addiction is hard to give up, but this is a good addiction. Initially, my family was not too happy with me. They would ask me to come to a function, and I would drop them and go for Toastmasters. I'll ask them to take a cab. Many a times my priority was first Toastmasters, then any other function. They tried to persuade me, and after some point of time, they gave up. Then I thought, is it how it works? Well, I couldn't leave Toastmasters. I needed the family too. So a few times I persuaded my wife to come and attend Toastmasters. I told her, come see what your husband is doing. At least you'll know I'm not straying. I'm not going out to a party. I'm not doing anything wrong. She reluctantly agreed to come. And 2 or 3 meetings later, she realized that what I was doing was very meaningful, because my interaction at home was better. My patience levels had become more. I would evaluate people than judge them. And soon my little daughter and my son came to see Toastmasters. To cut a story short, my wife became a Toastmaster and is a DTM. My daughter joined Toastmasters, went on to become president of a club and is a CC. My son had a short stint at Toastmasters and plans to come back. So when goodness is available, it takes more time to sink into people. But if you patiently prevail, it will always come to you. Family is a great priority, but how do you take it to them is something that we all have to do with patience. And let me tell you, it will prevail.
Sounds great. Include your family into the Toastmasters business, and if we can convince them to become Toastmasters, I think half of our problem is solved. That's how
Yes, yes.
it is not that easy, but yeah, I think you summed it up that way. This is a question from some of the Toastmaster friends. I posted this in a couple of groups and I said I'm going to talk to few leaders. Any questions? So somebody asked, any instance when you were demotivated and wanted to discontinue from Toastmasters? If yes, how did you overcome that and who helped you to overcome that?
In the very initial years of joining Toastmasters, I'm a person who is quick on my feet. I'm a go-getter. I'm a person who's on the streets. I quickly move to solve situations and do things. So I jumped into leadership. A few seniors guided me and took me along. And I was happy to be in leadership and I plunged into leadership. After a certain point of time, they moved ahead, leaving me behind. Maybe they had their own agenda, I didn't fit in. I felt very disillusioned. And the question that came to my mind was, I've been serving, so there is ungratefulness here, let me leave. And I decided to leave Toastmasters. In fact, I joined an evening course related to my business and I started attending that course and I missed Toastmasters for 3-4 months. Maybe it was my good luck or providence that Mr. Nagaraj Rao, who's the past district director and past international director, had joined Toastmasters and he called me up one day. I don't think he knew about my political battles, or probably he didn't care. He told me, I've seen you organize conferences when I came in as a guest, and can you help me in running a conference? And I went on to help him to run the conference, and I discovered my mojo. I found out that I was good at something, and people would recognize me for that. So the question here was, if you're good at anything, if you're good at something, eventually people will recognize you for it. The key answer here is patience. If you're able to withhold, if you're able to stay by, if you're patient enough, eventually you will succeed. Battles are always there in all aspects of a life. It's the war that we have to win. The war should be won with patience, love, tenacity, and taking people along. And I think I'm grateful for what Nagaraja did to me. And I'm here because I was pulled back. And it's hard to make me leave.
As you said, a couple of things in the previous questions and now also, it's an addiction. My journey had been in three sprints, I'll say, being a techie. I started in 2009 and then I left because of the work pressures, joined again in 2016 in Chennai. And because I came to Bangalore again, there was a break. And during COVID, I joined and I said, this time I'll be a Toastmaster till I leave, maybe. So that's how I think. So anyhow, moving on to a quick question on what do you like in Toastmasters? I know you have summarized a lot of things about it, but what do you like the most in Toastmasters?
Without even second thought, without even thinking, it's mentoring. The mentoring process in Toastmasters uh, is a beautiful relationship where someone who's younger to you can mentor me if they are senior at Toastmasters. Where we are only 6 months in Toastmasters, we interact and mentor people. And the learning that comes from getting mentored, the learning that comes from mentoring people, especially youngsters, is, I can tell you, path breaking. It's life changing. How we can influence someone to be who they are, how this mentoring process involves and influences us to be a better version of ourselves, I think is one single word. It can be defined as what Toastmasters has done to life in the world.
So that's a great answer. There was a debate in the club group saying that I am a good communicator. Why do we need a mentor? Can I opt out and say I don't need a mentor? Because the club PP had said you need to choose a mentor. And there was a lot of pros and cons on the reactions, and somebody said it is not mandatory, it is recommended. Some people said, no, it's always good to have a mentor, and a lot of pros and cons on that. What do you suggest to someone who says that I don't need a mentor and I'm good enough?
Sir, as a person, you can go to the path that you know. A mentor is a person will take you to places that you've not gone before. A mentor is a person who will harness your energy in areas that you've not discovered yourself. I tell a simple example. A boy goes to a shop, he asks for, the shopkeeper gives him chocolate, he doesn't take it. While coming out, his mother gives him chocolate, he doesn't take it. And again, the shopkeeper says, take chocolates, he does not. Then the shopkeeper puts his hand into the bowl and takes out a huge amount of chocolate. Immediately, the boy puts both his hands and takes the chocolate. The mother, while going home, asks, I asked for chocolates, you didn't take it. The shopkeeper first asked for chocolates, you didn't take it. But while coming back, when you put his hands and took the chocolate, you took it. Why? And he says, Amma, the shopkeeper hands are big. He gives me more chocolates. A mentor will give you more perfume of life that you've never seen.
That's a wonderful answer, sir. So obviously, this is something that we have to tell people who resist that they don't want a mentor. I will take one last question and then I will ask you to summarize. My last question to you is, what is the perfect age to join Toastmasters? College, mid-age, or old age?
What a lovely question this is. I joined when I was 35. I wish Toastmasters came to me earlier. Even now, I think this deadline of 18, maybe it may be a legal barrier, is not exactly great, because we do speech crafts from YLP for children who want to join at 13 and 14. So the best age for Toastmasters can be from 10 years onwards. And if you ask me, what's the last age for Toastmasters? I would say till your last breath. Actually, for people who are past their prime and who have nothing much to do, Toastmasters is such a diversion. If you're in the 50s and you want to have some diversion and a hobby, Toastmasters is beautiful. If you're in the 40s, you have a midlife crisis, Toastmasters is there for you. If you're in the 18s and you do not know what to do, the diversion is Toastmasters. If you're in 10 and 11s, you want to get better, Toastmasters is the answer. It's like a meal wrapped in for all of us. It has a bit of payasam, it has a bit of curry, it has a bit of curds, it has a bit of palav, and lots of sweet. And last but not the least, when you leave the dinner, it gives you a pan bida, the evaluation, so all of us feel good. So if you ask me personally, Toastmasters should have to be given entry from 11, 12 years onwards.
That's great. So you are saying any age is good as long as you can speak. That's how I can take it up. So to conclude, I wanted to know from you any message that you want to pass it on to the members of Toastmasters and to the leaders of Toastmasters. Over to you, sir.
Take whatever you want out of Toastmasters, but do not take something that you cannot give back to the Toastmasters. Take whatever you want out of Toastmasters, but do not take something that you can't give back to Toastmasters. That's my message to all of them.
Thank you very much for being with me this Sunday morning. I know there is a lot more I can ask you, and we can talk hours about the subject, but time is a limitation. And in Toastmasters, we are also passionate about time and managing time. Thank you for being on the show. I would love to have more interactions with you and other leaders, and looking forward for such more interactions with you. Thank you, sir.
It was my pleasure being here, and I am so grateful to you for giving me this opportunity and making my 2 bits to say about Toastmasters. And I'm happy that I'm able to speak at the level that you brought me to this platform. And I hope this can serve as a message to people to whom, of course, you're spreading this podcast to. And My only one word to use, gratefulness for having me on this podcast. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.